Welcome to your climate change tour around the globe. We're going to explore different countries, how they're experiencing the effects of climate change, and what they are doing to mitigate the problems. You'll be able to learn all of this from the comfort of your own home. So grab a snack, sit back, and learn from our adventure. First stop, Barbados.
As you can see, Barbados is located in the Atlantic Ocean and it is the furthest east of the West Indies Islands. What you cannot see is that this island is located on a plate boundary. Here, the South American plate subducts underneath the Caribbean plate.
Yes, and the subduction actually causes Barbados to grow a little bit each year. The climate here is tropical. It's specifically called a tropical monsoon climate. That means that Barbados experiences a wet season and a dry season, but the temperature ranges from 70 to 88 degrees Fahrenheit year-round. Thankfully, the country is also just outside the hurricane path, so it rarely experiences destruction from them.
This sounds like a great place to live. I'd like to live here.
Unfortunately, you may not want to move here just yet. This country is experiencing terrible consequences of the Earth warming. One of the biggest issues is how the offshore coral reefs are being contaminated and destroyed. A lot of that is due to overfishing and excessive tourism. This also comes from sedimentation, loss from the island, and marine-based pollution.
On top of that, the island is also experiencing sea level rise, and although the country is growing from the subduction zone, it is quickly losing its shores. Another recent issue has been mineral dust coming across the sea from the Sahara Desert. This reportedly causes cases of asthma and is greatly affecting the health of coral reefs.
Wow, that sounds incredibly terrible. What is going to happen to Barbados?
Sadly, we are predicting the effects of climate change to increase. Future climate impacts include more extreme rainfall and longer periods of drought. With more precipitation, the risk of flooding and landslides also increases, while longer periods of high heat will serve as a negative impact on the health of all the island's people.
In addition, increases in dry spells have been and will be more dramatic in this area. This has already begun to impact the crops in the area, putting a steady decline on the island's agricultural contributions to their economy.
We also see that surface waters will increase in temperature, negatively impacting coral reef ecosystems and the native aquatic species on the coastlines, decreasing biodiversity and possible running off of native species who can't survive in the higher temperatures and must migrate to colder waters, leaving room for new species to migrate in.
Lastly, there will be an increase in the severity of the country's tropical storms. Since Barbados is only 3 meters above sea level, this creates a great risk in sea level rise for the island and its communities.
Even though these effects could be devastating, the country does have plans to mitigate and adapt to climate change.
Exactly. The primary adaptations that Barbados plans to enact for future change rely upon impacts of sea level rise and coastal flooding. These factors, along with violent storm surges, will damage infrastructure along the island's coastline. Barbados currently benefits from significant outside aid that continues the nation's research into climate change's effects on Earth's oceans and seas.
This information allows Barbados to construct a current adaptation action plan, which consists of development goals and program initiatives. Other components of this plan include risk and coastal zone management assessments and water preservation tactics.
The specific actions that Barbados incorporates into each successive plan address local fisheries, constant flooding, and oceanic as well as human health effects.
This data is important to collect because of Barbados' significant shoreline and economic ties to the ocean. These economic components include widespread tourism and local fisheries.
Well, folks, that's Barbados. We have learned a lot about the current effects of climate change on the island and the island's plans for its people and the coast. Now, on to our next country.